What's going on, guys? It's Greg Campbell, Angry Tones Riff Clips, coming at you with a killer new pedal from Westminster Effects. This right here is called the Physician. This thing is absolutely incredible. It's kind of based and reimagined around the Landgraff Dynamic Overdrive, or the Landgraff. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, but it doesn't matter because this thing breathes a huge amount of new life into your amplifier. If you're looking for an overdrive with some thicker overtones, some richer overtones, super aggressive tone out of your amplifier, whether it's a Marshall or a Boogie or a Randall or an Ingle or whatever, this is a really fun new pedal right here. So let's go ahead and check it out. We got 3 knobs right here, and there's no toggle switch. So everything internal is really amazing with this pedal. The output is incredible. The gain response is incredible. However, I'm running it in Tube Screamer mode, and it sounds kick-ass. We're using my dual rectifier. We're in the 3rd channel, which is the lead channel I like to use for a high-gain rhythm. And we're running the pedal with the volume full-on cranked. The gain is not even on. There's so much gain on top of this pedal. You don't even need to use it, but you can. And we're using the tone knob at just around maybe close to 2 o'clock-ish. So let's see what we got. In today's video, we're going to be using my newly acquired Charvel. This thing kicks ass. This is a Charvel DX1 Soloist from their Desolation line. And this thing is incredible. Really beautiful flame maple top and a really pretty transparent blue finish. It's got a great rosewood fretboard, and we're rocking some EMG pickups in this bad boy here. It's an EMG 81 in the bridge and an 85 in the neck. So let's just go ahead and try the amp on its own and see what it sounds like, and then we'll engage the Westminster Effects Physician Overdrive and see how it changes and alters its tone into a more aggressive, sinister kind of a rhythm sound with more bright pick attack. Let's hit the overdrive. Beautiful. That is awesome. You could hear a huge dramatic difference at how much more gain it's funneling into the signal of this amp, how much more aggression it's adding and pushing into the amplifier. Let's just try that again. Those chugs are just frickin' killer. Amp on its own. Let's go ahead and hit that overdrive. Wow. Killer amounts of sustain. Just endless sustain right there. Sounds great. Let me know what you guys think. We're just getting started here, but this pedal sounds fantastic. So let's just go ahead and run it through its paces and try some cool rhythms, try some cool riffs, try something articulate, try something 80s. Just go ahead and mess with the pedal and see what it does. and how it responds well with this amplifier. But right now, I mean, just starting off the video, I've only been playing with this thing for a few days now, and it just sounds ridiculous. So I'm a big fan of anything coming from Westminster Effects. Cody's always building awesome, new, and improved variations of different styles of overdrives, preamp distortion pedals, and all sorts of stuff like that, and boost pedals. But this is different. This is new for me. I was reading about some of the history of it online, and it's got a really nice backstory if you guys want to check out his website and get into it. But as far as the pedal itself, the graphic is awesome. This is a brand new graphic. The Physician's been around for a little while, but we got a new graphic going on here, and it just looks much more metal. You got a nice, awesome matte finish, kind of a black satin or matte kind of finish going on. I love the texture, and I love the graphic with the new snake wrapped around the pole or whatnot. It just looks really awesome. Just a really cool aesthetic and cosmetic look. But everything inside the box and its tones speak for itself. So let's just go ahead and shred out with this Charvel here and the Physician Overdrive and see what we got. Right off the bat, this thing is just sounding very, very mean. It's got a really cool growl to it. It's got a really nice gnarl, you know, kind of a snarl on the mid-range when you're doing those upper strokes. Just sounds really smooth, but it's got a great articulate bite to it and pick attack for today's like modern metal players. We're only tuned to drop D today, but it's just sounding really nice. It's got that slap to it, real nice and snappy. Just a really cool tone. I mean, overall, I'm thoroughly impressed, and only been messing with it for a little bit. You know, usually you gotta dial in a pedal for a while and take your time and figure out how it's going to work with your amp, but I figured I'd just run this in Tube Screamer mode and see what it does, and it's already going to be a personal favorite. I got a spot on my board for this thing. It's going to be great. Let's try something a little bit more articulate and crank up this tone knob just a little bit. Get a little bit more sharp presence going on. bad tone right there. Let's crank it up a little bit more. That is just pure brutality right there. Man, this thing sounds rad. Thanks, Cody. You got a lot of good stuff, man. I've demoed quite a few of your pedals. This is a lot of fun. Was not expecting it. The Physician Overdrive, you know, when I read some of the remarks and description of the pedal, I was thinking it was going to be more of a bluesy kind of, more of a richer, kind of like a Marshall Blues Breaker or something. I'm not really sure. I'm talking out my ass, but I thought it was going to be more of a richer tonality, you know, going on with it, but it's got those thick chugs. With the tones I'm getting out of it, you can dial this in for anything you're playing, from rock music, hard rock, classic rock, thrash metal, black metal. I mean, this thing has a lot of gain and it's very aggressive. So depending on how you're dialing in your amp's tone and whatever you're trying to get the pedal to do to, you know, cultivate and sculpt your own sound, this thing works for a lot of different types of music, but I'm going to be predominantly using it for what I write, which is mostly thrash, you know, death metal, metalcore, stuff like that. Let's go ahead and try some different riffs and some 80s stuff with a pinch of reverb, because this has a really good tone for glam metal as well. So let's have fun with it. sounds pretty dang awesome with those 80s riffs too. So I mean, this thing's covering a lot of ground. As we close out this video, I want to go ahead and show you that I found to be a really cool thing with this pedal. I'm really liking the tonality when you roll the volume up and down on the guitar. I really like how you can achieve different overdriven tones when you're using your volume knob, and you can manipulate going back and forth. Let's try that out. Once again, it just sounds really awesome rolling that volume up and down. So I really like experimenting like that sometimes with the gear I'm using for different applications and textures and songs, different colors and stuff like that for whatever shapes you're playing. But I also like that it's got a low noise floor. Check this out. I'm not even using the noise gate. Awesome pedal. Go get yourself one. Westminster Effects, the Physician Overdrive. Brand new, awesome, killer new enclosure. Same brutality and gut, like girthy, thick, low end. This thing is awesome. Use a tone, dial in whatever tone you're trying to achieve. Always crank your output because it just sounds absolutely phenomenal that way, and you're getting the most out of the pedal. You could use the gain anywhere you want on this pedal and get a great sound out of it, but you might want to use a noise gate when you're using that much overdriven, saturated tones. But so far, after playing with this pedal for a few days, Tube Screamer mode is the way to go, and it sounds awesome for any thrash and modern metal tones you're trying to get after. Thanks a lot, you guys, for checking it out. We'll see you in the next video, and I hope you enjoy the Physician Overdrive. We'll see you next time.